And the big thing was the revelation that Peacemaker's dad in that universe is not just another Nazi whatever. Like in Earth MAGA, Earth X, they leave him alive. And so my guess is, Rob, we're not going to see him in the next episode. I don't think we're going to see him in the finale. I think they're done with Earth MAGA at this point.
Well, the reason why James Gunn's universe is working for me right now is because the characters are just really good. Characters are just well written. They're not just flawed, but, their actions have consequences.
Yes, that was the ending. No, I'm not sorry. Yes, it's streaming. No, you can't DM me about it.
The Penguin won Emmys. And you know what James Gunn decided to put out? Showing us orgies and again, pointing a finger at the actual fans that watch the show. Anyone who can look at James Gunn's DCU in 2025 and say that, oh, James Gunn did a great job, you're lying to yourselves. And you're lying to everyone else around you and anyone else who sees what the fuck you're saying. This right here is the reason why we cannot trust anybody when it comes to the fandom nowadays. Because what they're doing and what they have done for the past, over a decade now, is they change shit so much in the comics to justify the BS that they're going to be pushing in the movies and in the TV shows and the animated series and in toys and in games. This right here is reason number one why you cannot trust the DC fandom nowadays. So, James Gunn, who has been in charge of the DCU for over a year now, a couple years now, but has been involved with the DCU for quite some time, a few years, ever since Suicide Squad. And that was a good movie. I'll give him that. But then we get Peacemaker Season 1, and I said, why are we getting into Peacemaker Season 1? I'm not really, expecting much from the show. And then I actually ended up liking the show. So much that I ended up doing a video about it on this very channel, praising the show. But then we get to 2025. And something didn't sit right with me because already 2 years ago when James Gunn took over the DCU, he gave us The Lie.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
And it's a lie that a lot of people look over. James Gunn says Ezra Miller's Flash is probably one of the greatest superhero movies ever made. This was January 31st of 2023. This right here told me, I said this movie better be a fucking home run. More than a home run. After all the BS that we've had, that even us fans were put through with the production of this movie, how long it took to even make this movie. Then once the movie's finally done and edited, all this other stuff, they're holding it out because Ezra Miller's acting like a lunatic. And then you have, in the midst of all of this, James Gunn not only say that this is one of the greatest superhero movies ever made, and it had Tom Cruise, they flew Tom Cruise out to watch the movie at a private screening, and Tom Cruise out here lying saying, oh man, I almost cried during the movie and all this other shit, right? Not only did they do those two things, James Gunn went as far as saying, hey, the director of this complete dog shit movie, he's gonna be the director of Batman.
Okay.
So not only did we get The Lie, but it's everything we got after The Lie that made me say, I still want to trust James Gunn because he did give us Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, which I think is probably the second best trilogy behind Captain America's trilogy in the MCU, and probably maybe of superhero movies, because you are thinking, we are talking about, and again, I'm just going off the dome right now. Maybe there's a couple more that I'm forgetting that are a little bit better than Guardians of the Galaxy as a trilogy as a whole. You could probably say maybe Spider-Man, but Spider-Man 3, X-Men 3, So again, James Gunn, to me at this point in 2023, late 2023, when all this stuff is going on, and he's saying that this is going to be my Batman and blah, 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 whatever, I'm still thinking like, okay, James Gunn, for the most part, does not miss. I've watched a lot of his movies, Slither, even the movies that he wrote or helped write. Look, at this point, I'm still a believer in James Gunn. And we're talking 2023, 2024. Then we get to 2025, right? This is after Peacemaker. It's been a couple years since we got Peacemaker now. He's well established in the DCU, blah, blah, whatever. And then we get Creature Commandos. And I'm kind of skeptical because I'm like, look, James Gunn, again, I have trust in James Gunn. He knows about the comics. He is a nerd at the end of the day. I mean, how bad can this be? And then I sat down and watched the show. And I said, this is absolutely horrible. But I say, you know what? It's an animated show. I'm not putting too much stock into this. Whatever. I didn't like it. Whatever. We're getting Superman later on in the summer. Let's see what this movie's about. And then we get Superman. And you guys know my thoughts about Superman because I posted it right here on this channel as well. Not really a big fan of that movie either. But I said, you know what? We're getting Peacemaker Season 2. We can get that sour taste out of our mouths with Superman. And we're going to get... Dude, I remember the exact day I sat down. Popcorn, got my gummy bears. I'm like, yo. I got my can of Coke. I'm like, yo, let's go ahead and let's see what Peacemaker Season 2 is about. And by the end of that episode, of episode 1, I'm sitting here and I'm like, there's no way in hell James Gunn thought that it would be a good idea to make this Peacemaker. To make this a Season 2 debut of Peacemaker. Like, are you kidding me? And I still held out hope. I said, you know what? Maybe next week it'll get a little bit better. Nope. This is what we're getting. We pretty much got a hardcore show. Now, she's basically, and might as well be, the next Amanda Waller, to be honest. Even though Amanda Waller's daughter's in this, and, well, they used her for only virtue signaling and agenda pushing, as well as they used, not Vigilante. Vigilante just made, super feminine. But, they, what's that character's name? Judo Master. They use Judo Master to agenda push as well. Throw these little sly comics that religion and throw these sly comments that, quote unquote racist and Nazi, not seen well, blah, blah, blah. James Gunn knew exactly what he was doing with this show. Pushing the women and pushing the agendas. I mean, and also, well, I guess you could say the gays too, but that's also agenda. That counts as agenda. And this is coming from a guy that I thought that we could trust. This is coming from a guy that I was am I still a fan of James Gunn?
No, you're not. Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. Stop.
I don't know. Maybe we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Okay, he's still got a couple more years and a couple more projects to do in the DCU for me to actually feel comfortable answering that question. But for now, as I'm making this video, I'm gonna say not really. Like I may still be a fan of his work, especially his past work, a lot of his past work. But man, I'm not a believer in this whole DCU thing. I feel like he's fumbled the DCU. I feel like he has done nothing but pour gasoline onto the fire that we thought that he was gonna be putting out once he took over at DC. Except he's only made things more gay. He's only pushed these women in these prominent positions, and again, his wife. I mean, this is nepotism at its fucking finest.
The truth is, she was just a cum dumpster, and I don't want to be rude and mean by saying that.
Right here in 4K. You got his brother on the red carpet. By the way, why the fuck is Sean Gunn Maxwell Lord? We went from what the fuck? We went from Pedro Pascal to fucking Sean Gunn. Like, and Pedro, say what you want about Pedro Pascal. I say what I want about him too, but he's still a good actor. I mean, anyways, the fact that you have Sean Gunn on the red carpet talking about, owning the Chuds, owning MAGA, blah, 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 whatever, agenda pushing right there on the red carpet. And then the very next day, you got James Gunn shutting that same shit down. I still held out hope. Even though Superman wasn't good, I said, you know what, James Gunn's not going to agenda push and all this other stuff. And then you sit down and you watch Peacemaker Season 2 and you're like, why are we touching on this racist shit again? Why are we touching on race? Why are we still literally using the word Nazi? Still doing this and doing that? That's the only reason why he wanted to use Earth X to begin with.
Her running for her life just reminded me of the damn 60s, man. She running, her jugs is flying every which way but loose. She trying to save her life. White people is running into each other because for them to see a nigger, and who knows how long they ain't never seen niggers, to see a rare nigger specimen, oh God, we got to get that thing in jail is what they was thinking.
This is the problem with the DCU. And it's the problem with Warner Brothers in general. They don't have people that actually care about the comics or the characters or the stories or even keeping the DC fandom alive.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I wish I could hold out hope, but I just can't. I'm not a Snyder bro. I'm not a Marvel guy or anything like that. I'm just the guy that wants good entertainment. I want good superhero products like what we got as kids. But the problem is, now Marvel has nothing to worry about. Marvel has absolutely nothing to worry about anymore. And this is the same reason why I get mad at WWE. Because for a while, WWE was really great when they thought they had some competition with AEW. But once AEW shot themselves in the foot, once AEW iced themselves, WWE had nothing left to worry about. And it went back to, generally, no storytelling, very minimal character building. And now they just bent the knee to Saudi Arabia. And they're putting WrestleMania in Saudi fucking Arabia. Marvel has nothing to worry about with DC now. Because with James Gunn at the helm, they thought they might have something. They thought that, oh man, we might have to do editing this and do this and put this character here. We got to fire this director and actually get some real fucking directors for a movie now. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Marvel's going to continue seeking down the drain. DC is going to continue shooting themselves in the foot because they keep hiring guys like James Gunn that want to agenda push and bend the knee to the SJWs rather than, I don't know, making a good story, making great characters. Because again, this stuff is supposed to be layups. Making superhero movies and superhero shows, if you're a great director, if you're good at your craft, this should be a layup. So congratulations to DC and Warner Brothers and David Zaslav. Because now, James Gunn has made sure that the DCU is DOA and that Marvel has nothing to worry about. They can continue to go on, no competition, and making trash product. So now, everybody loses. Thank you, James Gunn. So on top of James Gunn and the DCU and everybody being complacent and we're not going to get any good product from anyone now because everybody sucks and nobody wants to make good shit, we got this teaser last year, literally almost exactly a year ago from today. My question is, with Michael Rooker playing this character, this Eagle Whisperer, this was a nothing burger. This character was a complete nobody. He only lasted, maybe 2 episodes? And got his ass whooped by Eagly? Like, this is the kind of stuff that really makes me mad. Because I'm like, man, who could this be? Blah, 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 blah. This is going to be pretty cool, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then we finally get the actual finished product, and it's dog shit. The story, dumpster fire. The character, even worse. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about complacency with ideas and being creative. Like, you have an entire catalog of characters you can choose from and storylines you can choose from. But instead, you continue to pick from the low-hanging fruit. And you're talking about somebody who's supposed to be creative. Like, do people understand that we were supposed to get gods and monsters and instead we're getting, debauchery and degeneracy? Right here, the very last episode. And when I was watching the episode, I was like, are they saying what I think they're saying? And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm watching the James Gunn show. So I might as well just be watching The Boys because that's pretty much what he's trying to do. He's just trying to be The Boys. Even though, yes, it's got James Gunn's DNA written all over it. I'm not saying that James Gunn's copying The Boys or anything, but he's trying really hard to make it edgy like The Boys. When it doesn't really have to be. You can still make it a TV, a mature show, a TV MA show, right? And have it be a Peacemaker TVMA show. And not have every other word be fuck. And not have some more dicks in your show than you do tits. And I give James Gunn credit because in the Superman movie, He actually hired hot chicks. He actually made these chicks look hot in the Superman movie, with the exception of Lois. He made her, she dressed like a punk rock, whatever the fuck. But other than that, all the chicks in that movie were hot. But man, like this, like shoving hardcore down our throats and making her the pretty much the damn main story, making your final episode a music video of these shitty bands, like, bro. And then on top of that, you have a song called "Fucking My Heart in the Ass" that played in the episode. Again, didn't he mention gods and monsters? Did James Gunn not mention gods and fucking monsters? And speaking of hardcore, while we're still on hardcore,
She was just a cum dumpster.
he made every white person in the show look like a fucking idiot except for her. Watch the show very closely. You will see he made everybody a fucking idiot. Rick Flag Jr. was a fucking idiot in the show. And I don't know why they did this.
Mommy Ash.
Wait, who's your mommy, little doggy?
Mommy Ash.
That's a good boy.
We should have seen this a mile away. Because look at after what happened in Superman. James Gunn has a trend with just making terrible dads for movies and for characters. The dad is the bad guy and the son has to, like, come on, bruh. And don't even get me started on the whole Superman, Superman's dad with Jor-El. Like, good God, man. Like, today's word has to be layup. Because that's exactly what this should have been. Like, this guy has no idea what he's doing. And I hate to say that James Gunn, a guy who has been a part of Hollywood, who has been a part of entertainment for probably as long as I've been alive, doesn't know what he's doing. But it's either he doesn't know what he's doing or he's being belligerent and literally bending the knee to these SJWs and just giving them everything they want instead of just telling good stories, because he's not getting good ratings on these shows. Nobody's watching these shows. Nobody went to go see Superman, but Superman definitely didn't make money that it was supposed to make. And you continue to butcher these characters and devalue them.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
This is why I don't want James Gunn to touch Batman. My favorite character of all time. Don't touch Batman. For the love of God, don't do it. Because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You don't know how to write these characters. Apparently, you only know one way to write shows and movies, and that's the James Gunn way, and that's it. You don't know how to evolve. You don't know how to fucking do anything serious. And if you do know how to do anything serious, it's always for the woman is the strong one in a relationship. The woman is the masculine. The woman is the one that gets into all the bar fights. It has to do with her own emotions and blah, blah, blah. The woman is the one that has to go see the therapist and literally is being called, is being diagnosed with toxic masculinity. That was in episode 1.
I think I have settled on the big cameo being Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn.
Come on, my nigga.
And yet you want me to trust you with lanterns? You want me to trust you with lanterns after watching this shit? You want me to trust you with Supergirl after watching this shit?
Chat. Let's play a game. We've done this before, so it's not an old game. How many writing credits Nagueria got to her name before she's been given this 150 mil, 200 mil movie, Supergirl movie?
Are we including everything there?
Everything.
Like,
Everything. The answer is 1. From 2018.
That is a short.
Supergirl, who the only thing we got from Supergirl was in Superman, like a 10-second fucking clip, scene, appearance, cameo, whatever you want to call it, where she comes in drunk, whatever, and then calls Clark a bitch, takes crypto and leaves. which was funny. That was a funny scene, whatever. I didn't laugh, but I was like, oh, funny, whatever. But then I had to sit there and realize, oh, wait, we're getting a Supergirl movie. We're getting an entire movie of basically Emma Stone's character. No, it wasn't Emma Stone's character. Who's that character? The chick who played Becca in Superbad. We're pretty much getting Becca in Superbad, the movie. So that should be great. That should be great. Now, I am kind of curious, though, as to what Lobo looks like live action. Now, that's actually going to be pretty cool if they can pull that off. But other than that, yeah, that's what we're getting. We're getting Becca from Superbad playing a superhero, the movie. That's what we're getting. Drunk college chick, the movie. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I guess we're going to have to trust James Gunn with that too then, huh? I guess all the people there that are saying, oh, give Peacemaker Season 2 a break. Oh, it's not as bad as, it's the same thing as Season 1. I hate when people say that. It's basically the same thing we got in Season 1, except it was better. No. What we got in Season 1 was what we got in Season 1. What James Gunn did was he did the exact same thing that he tried to do in Season 1, which is, again, reintroduce this whole racist storyline again. Oh, dad's racist. And then he flipped it, and the dad's not really a bad guy, even though the people online, the weirdos online, the SJWs that he bent the knee to online, said that the dad still deserved to die because he didn't do anything about the evil that was going on in the Nazi world. You can't make this shit up.
Every minute.
Yes, electrocute the evil racist Nazis all day, every day. All day, every day.
What Peacemaker did with me, it was a straw that broke the camel's back for 2025. That's why everything goes back to this tweet right here. Is that's the wrap for the first year of DCU. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. How do you get in? How do you rate this an 8 out of 10 for the year with the DC products that we got? You must not have either watched it or just you're just gonna eat up all the slop they give you. 8 out of 10. He features a picture of Creature Commandos, Superman, and Peacemaker. All three were bad. Horrible. Superman was bearable. Like, Superman wasn't completely off the wall, fucking off the charts horrible. But it was a pretty bad movie. Creature Commandos, I gave that one a pass in terms of like being critical about it, just because I said it's James Gunn. That's as James Gunn is going to get. He is basically James Gunn going full James Gunn. That was Creature Commandos. That's why I was like, okay, he went full James Gunn in that. Blew his wad. He's fucking done. He's done with all that shit. Now let's get into Superman. I was thinking Superman was going to be this big, serious fucking movie. We get the real Man of Steel. No, we didn't. And it was a disappointment. And then we get to Peacemaker Season 2.
The thing I find the most touching in the episode is when she looks at him and she says, "You're big and you're dumb and you're stupid, but when I'm around you, I know you love me. And you might be the only person in the world that I can say that about." And I'm crying because it's touching and the way she performs it is touching.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Like, we live in a world now where The Undertaker shoves, and he's trying to shove Michelle McCool down everybody's throat in wrestling media. And James Gunn does the same thing with gangbangs and racism. Like that's pretty much what it is. Like, who is really gonna argue with a guy that says, and this is why they do it, obviously, but who's really gonna argue with a guy that says, like, I fuck the Nazis, we're anti-Nazi over here. We don't, like, of course, nobody's gonna say, like, yeah, but what about the racists? But the thing is, you're calling people racist and insinuating people are racist and going straight to the worst thing you could ever call somebody, which is Nazi. At least, in the public eye, that's the worst thing you could ever call somebody, right? He resorts to that kind of stuff, right? James Gunn resorts to that kind of stuff. And to me, once you go that far and to say, like, oh, well, people that are, that people are saying that I'm polarizing, they're just racist and blah, 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 whatever. Once you go that route, you can't come back.
As the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So Gen Z, let's take our seat.
And that's where you lose the fandom. That right there is the moment you lose the fandom, because you had a believer in me when you were on the red carpet and was questioned about, how does it feel owning the MAGAs and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, this movie's for everybody. This ain't about owning nobody. It's a movie for everybody. But then you turn around and you give us Peacemaker, and you're calling people Nazis. Then the people that are critical of your show, you're calling them racist, while also making jokes about and mocking religion and throwing shots early. Now, I can understand if you're making jokes or whatever, but when you're literally out there just throwing shots at religion through a gay-ass character like Judo Master, we have some bigger issues. James Gunn pulled a Judas on all of DC fandom. He really did. And he can't get out of his own way. That's another problem. And the fact that in the MCU now, or I should say the MCU now, we're getting a Black Wonder Man in 2026. And that should tell you that Marvel lost the plot a long time ago. DC still had the chance to make something great. We still had a chance to get a great DC year in 2025. And instead, we got James Gunn being perverted and insinuating that people don't like his shit are either racist or sexist or whatever ist or phobe. It doesn't work. And it's only going to hurt you in the long run. I'd rather have just gotten another stereotypically racist Blue Beetle movie at this point, rather than getting Peacemaker season 2, because this was the final like horrible fucking cherry on top of the shit cake. That's all this was. Like the fact that the Penguin won Emmys. And you know what James Gunn decided to put out? Because that was an Elseworlds project. Penguin, all of Matt Reeves' verse, that's Elseworlds. That has nothing to do with DCU. That won awards, as it should have. Even though I still think they kind of pushed the female narrative a little bit much as well in that one. But I gave that one a pass because it was a really good show. Rightfully so, won awards. You know what James Gunn's doing in the DCU? Showing us orgies and again, pointing a finger at the actual fans that watch the show. It's not going to work out the way you think, buddy. It's just not. You think that you're the savior of the DCU? No, dude. You're just another guy pouring more gasoline onto the fire of an already burning building.
What, I'm supposed to kayfabe this shit to protect them? Fuck you. Y'all niggas watching me burn. Y'all told me to shut up and not say nothing just so I can fucking get buried. Fuck y'all. No, I ain't shutting up about nothing. I'm telling the whole fucking truth. Like it or not. And if you don't like it, pull up, bitch. I ain't got nothing to lose. Pull up. Motherfucker.
I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think about the DCU. Let me know what you guys think about James Gunn, because right now there are even rumors going around that Paramount may be buying Warner Brothers, which means that James Gunn could possibly be out of there. Now, I personally don't think that James Gunn's going to be out of DCU anytime soon within the next few years, but that's just me. If this kind of shit, we keep getting this kind of stuff though, I think there are going to be some people that are going to be investing in and buying just DC alone. Which I don't know if that's even possible, but I mean, right now you have people getting ready to buy the NCAA. Billions. Getting ready to spend billions to buy back the NCAA so that we can get real football back in college. I don't think that we're too far away in the realm of getting somebody doing the exact same thing, except for Warner Brothers or DC. So, again, all of this stuff is rumors, all this stuff's calculated, whatever, but I just wanted to get my piece on a Peacemaker, no pun intended, season 2, as well as the disappointment that James Gunn has given us. And I don't see it getting any better anytime soon, because again, we're getting the Lanterns, the Green Lantern show, which after Peacemaker, I'm not expecting much from that show. But that needs to be a banger to get everybody back on board with the DCU. And then you get Supergirl after that. So, again, we'll see. Hit that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's your boy, Corn, and I am OUT.